Welcome back to the Askari Cast. My name is Rod Van Blake, author of the Ancient Illumination series as well as the Ambani Chronicles, and I'm joined once again by Jordan Purnell Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
He is a graphic artist and illustrator, creator of The Eve of Insurrection, Eve of Reclamation, and the STEM comic series Growing in the Garden, which, if anybody is curious about our creative endeavors, when I upload this podcast episode to Spotify, we will put links in the description of the episode to our various websites. Today we talking about something new. Alien Earth just dropped. 2 episodes are out currently. When they dropping the third?
Should be this week. Tuesday tomorrow. It should be tomorrow, right?
Okay. Tuesday.
It better be. It better be Tuesday. I thought it was last Tuesday.
So spoilers if you haven't watched the first 2 episodes. I think the first one is Neverland. The second one is Mr. October. This is a prequel to the Alien film in 1979. Weird how they're releasing these. They kind of jump around the timeline a lot. But
yeah, they do. And I don't know. It's like that's why it's hard for me to be. That's why I have to actually sit down and be like, all right, where are we in the timeline of Alien? Because they just feel like their own self-contained stories, just in the whole universe. They just pick a time. They just take a time period and start talking about. They give us some meteor content from that era.
So once again, spoiler alert, if you have not watched the first 2 episodes, we start off, they give us kind of a little preamble talking about the race for immortality, and it comes in 3 guises. Cybernetically enhanced humans, which are cyborgs, and then it said fully synths, basically. Androids are the second guise of immortality, and then a hybrid of the 2. So, and these we're going to see later are actually human consciousness basically put into synthetic bodies.
Perfect. This is all I ever wanted to see.
So Neverland is obviously a reference to Peter Pan.
Yep.
In Neverland, there's always this idea of always staying young. First, we also connect this kind of a parallel to the first Alien film. We see the crew of the ship. We see the cryopods, and we're introduced to this various space crew. They have, I guess, kind of like the truckers of the thing, kind of.
The truckers of space.
Yeah, and we know that they're on some research vessel.
Yeah.
And Mr. Tang, I believe, is a synth.
Yeah, I was like, he's giving synth vibes. When they was talking to him, he was he was deserving. I was like, oh, Mr. Tang.
Yeah, he's a synth, but also apparently he's a creep because he kind of watches them in their sleep, and they were kind of upset. And they even showed scenes of him kind of standing over one of the pods, kind of reaching his hand out weird. And
oh, God.
I didn't know what to really make of him. But I kind of knew if you've seen the Alien film, I was like, oh, most of this crew, even without knowing, I'm like, they toast.
The androids are always in on the joke and on the plan.
And then the I forget the guy's name from the cast, Morrow.
Yes,
the brother who plays Morrow from Into the Badlands.
Babu
Cisse. Yeah, he was the guy from the Badlands and became the main antagonist there. But here, he's a cyborg, so he's a human. He's obviously got some cybernetic enhancements. It looks like his left hand is
his arm was metal. Transparent.
Yeah, it was transparent, metallic looking, and he pulled a blowtorch out at some point.
I thought it was gonna be a gun. I was like, what's he about to do?
Yeah, and he's very. I know he's supposed to be mostly human, but he still seems more Borg than human.
That's what's very interesting about his personality. He acts like an android, but then when stuff start popping off, he busting sweats. Yeah. He's scared. And I'm like, is he a cyborg? And I'm like, if he is, I'm all for it. I'm like, let's keep going. What's happening next?
Yeah. So you see the crew kind of interact with each other. I was waiting on, we didn't get it here. And I liked that this show kind of built the suspense up really well. The first episode. We know what it's about. We know in the title is Alien. We even get some type, I don't know, because they kind of show in the opening credits, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
And throughout the episode, it's not actually chasing anything, but you're looking from the alien's perspective, running through the
Oh
corridor.
yeah. Did Sam Raimi have anything to do with this?
I
Because
don't know.
he's that the cinematography, they're taking that same approach where Sam Raimi used to do that with Evil Dead, where the camera go rushing through the forest and zooming past stuff, but they're doing it from the perspective of the xenomorph. Was like clever. I was like, I like this.
I think it's interesting because I think the xenomorph is sleeping. So it's like it's dreaming of what it's about to do.
I'm gonna hunt all of them and get
I thought at first maybe it was kind of flashbacks of like this has already happened and we're just
They did have a lot of that. There were moments where like you see where they're cutting and back and forth. You see some destruction, but we're not getting context. But we obviously know this ain't gonna end well.
Yeah. So yeah, we see them kind of interact. They talk over a meal. They have suspicions of Mr. Tang. One of the dudes gets pissed off about the specimens, and Morrow tells him the specimens are the mission. Like this is the reason why we're here. And the dude's like, we lost many good men getting these damn specimens. And he's like, Morrow's like, I didn't stutter. The specimens are the mission. Like, am I gonna have to call more security down here, or y'all gonna trip at it? No boy shuts up and sits down, and we know at that point that everybody kind of goes back to their crowd pods. Morrow goes to wherever he goes, and the next scene we see with them, one of the scientists, one of the ladies who are scientists there.
Oh, the black woman?
No. The kind of Hispanic looking lady. Remember, she's outside of his door when he noticed something's wrong. Morrow's in like the mother room.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When that
and then he uses the blowtorch in his hand to seal
the
door so she can't get in. And then she gets murked, and he buries himself under the floorboard in some special compartment and knows that the ship is going to crash on Earth. And he just resigned to that fate. This is what's going down. Sorry, ship's going to crash. Most of the crew is assumed dead. We don't, and unknown about, what about the cargo? He's like, unknown. He goes down, so that crashes. And then we're left to go down to this Neverland Ranch, basically, where we're introduced to the boy genius who owns a new company called. Because remember, also what the crew was talking about who owns what on Earth.
Oh yeah, the corporation.
Like Wayland Yutani owns North and South America, and then there's like they named like 4 or 5 companies. And then like they own everything. And then someone, and the new one, Prodigy, and we find out Prodigy is into this kind of technological advancements, but on a whole different level, because we're introduced to Marcy, the little girl. She's like obviously sick from cancer or something. She's got no hair, and I guess it's terminal. There's no treatment. So they basically tell her, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna transfer you into this new body. And they do that. She's the first. It's funny that what's his name? Not Hermit, because Hermit's her brother.
Yeah.
Boy Cavalier.
The billionaire, the CEO.
The billionaire. The
trillionaire, the billionaire. Right?
He likens her to Neil Armstrong as if she's, she's the first of many. Like, like Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, whatever, in space. And now she's going to be the first to make this leap, have her human consciousness transferred into this fully synthetic body, and basically avoid death. So I guess that's why it's one of the guises of immortality, because she's escaped death into this body, and now it won't break down. You won't get sick. You won't get tired. In fact, she's faster. We see her jump down from a cliff.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So I was interesting when I saw that. I was like, okay, that kind of evens the field a little bit. These aren't normal humans fighting against xenomorphs, because it's kind of a, you're up against it if you got regular humans, even with weaponry. A lot of times
they get mollywopped, as you say, right?
They get mollywopped a lot. I was like, oh, and then we find out there's going to be a crew of them. She takes on the name of Wendy, which is another callback to
Peter Pan, Neverland.
And Neverland. And in fact, the rest of her compatriots are basically named after other Peter Pan characters, except for who's it? Shmi? who's one
Yeah,
of
wasn't he like
Captain
the
Hook's.
Captain Hook's
Yeah,
dude?
one of Captain Hook's people.
I was surprised. I was like, why did one of them name Shmi and the rest of like the Lost Boys? I was trying to like do research. I'm like, all right, who's a part of the Lost Boys? Because I was like trying to hear all their names and stuff. So I was like, man, this I like that this reference. And then also with the video that they're showing them is Neverland. So it's just like it's all connected.
And you know, shit. They also basically show us this connection she had with her brother with the Ice Age film as well throughout. Which
I have so many questions about that.
ironically, that these are all like Disney properties, and
Right.
Disney owns Hulu. So
20th Century Fox. I was like, wait, what's this? It's all owned by the same company, so they can just pop that in there. Like,
yeah, without having to worry about rights and all that stuff. Like we own the rights to it, we can use what we want. But yeah, this was very suspenseful. This is very. The philosophy of it is kind of subtle. It's not, it's not thrown in your face, but obviously they're touching on a lot of different philosophical things within sci-fi with this immortality, this thirst for not only immortality, but forever youth, basically, not growing old. Kirsch is a synth, right? The blonde hair.
Kirsch? Yeah. Kirsch. Oh, the I can't remember the actor's name. Jeez.
Like their leader.
He's a synth. He seems like he's like one of the first, or he's like a earlier model.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant.
He plays Kirsch. Wendy is played by Sydney Chandler.
I can't remember the name of the woman who feels like a maternal figure to her.
That is played by Easy Davis.
Okay.
She's Damie Sylvie.
Okay.
She's kind of playing, but I don't think that's her mother.
It's not, but she's trying to fill that void. That's what they, and that's one of the things that I kind of enjoy about this, like, Boy Cavalier's like facility. He's like setting it up in a way where like you're introducing these kind of like archetypes of like a mother and father. So Timothy Oliphant's character technically will be an android dad to them.
Yeah.
And then like even how Wendy has to like, she's this girl in like an adult robot body, so she's trying to figure that out. And then like her being tasked with being a big sister to the other kids they start to introduce, and to potentially to get them to have robot bodies. I was like,
a bad recipe to me.
I mean, yeah, we shouldn't be putting kids. That's I already knew this was bad. I was like, yeah, we're putting kids in robot bodies to fight xenomorphs or something. I'm like, it's giving child soldiers, but not that. They're a little too. They haven't seen war violence, so they like really are just like innocent kids that are just like goofy and going around. And I'm like, watching somebody dies, the script gonna flip.
With these super strong bodies that basically try to synthetically manufacture hormone flow so that their emotions don't get out of control. But we see later in the second episodes, at least their fear emotions are very much intact for some of them. First episode was really good to me. It built suspense. We got a little bit of the xenomorph rampaging kind of through the ship, but
that was great, by the way.
The what?
The xenomorph. The dude in the suit.
Yeah.
Like that's a man in the suit right there. The headbang when he bangs into the glass. I'm like, yo, when did xenomorph's heads get so big? I'm like, what the? Wow, busting through the glass. And in the first episode, did we get that other? And even I think it's interesting. Do we also see another alien creature that's introduced?
There's like 4.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. They got these weird alien ticks that are there. We got this flying thing that's still caged up. We get the eyeball that basically mimics.
Yeah, we saw that in the second episode.
Yeah. No, we saw him in the first.
First. That was disgusting. Oh, God.
Yeah, we see him in the first episode, but it's still captured. Obviously, in the crash, a few of them things get out.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got these specimens, which is already a bad recipe. They're going to crash on Earth, and then we flip to Neverland, and we also find out that Wendy's been watching her brother the whole time through the network. So not only since she's a mix of basically human consciousness in a synthetic body, but obviously there's still some robotic kind of capabilities because she's able to basically tap into the video network I don't. Are they on Earth?
Oh, yes, they're on a part of Earth. They I
Okay.
don't know. It's yes,
She's able
they're
to
on
like
Earth.
tap
Yeah, they're on
into
Earth.
the closed circuit TV network and watch her brother's every move. My boy's on boat trips. She's watching. She's watching him
She's
at
swiping
home.
through.
Yeah, yeah. She's swiping, watching him at home, watching him at work, and she's apparently watching him because the Prodigy crew starts watching her like, she's watching him again. You think this was a mistake? Should we have not given her access? And she still has an emotional tie, even though she knows she's supposed to be a secret. She supposedly is dead. She's not gonna
Yeah.
get to him and find out that the crash happened. And she comes up with the bright idea, like, "Hey, let's go get him." And she's
We're
all
gonna get
happy. And Kirsch is like, "I don't think this is a good idea." But
boy Cavalier. He's on it. He's like test run.
yeah, he's a lunatic. I can already tell he's just happy about the wrong stuff. He's one of them crazy rich folks that just are so out of touch with reality. And he talks about relatively how smart he is compared to everybody else. And
Oh
in the second
yeah.
episode, he's like, I just want to have a decent conversation that blows my mind. And he feels like no one around him is intelligent enough to give him that. So even the Sylvia lady, she asked him, so you think it's one of the kids? And he's like, maybe, I don't know.
Which I think is weird, and I want to, which I think is, I think I have this worry that like naturally like when we have like we have like this idea of like a girl being put into an adult body, and then like you have like Boy Cavalier, and like it's like he's basically looking for a companion,
Mhm.
and then now you get into this weird like grooming situation where it's like, all right, I hope they don't take it in that direction, but like it's an opportunity for like Boy Cavalier to be attracted to Wendy, and
Yeah,
I'm like, but he seems like he's off his rocker. That would make sense for his character to do that
yeah.
if he's low off his rocker. And I'm just like, yeah, if they're gonna take it that, I have a feeling they could take it that way. So it's something that like that's just looming in the
He's a lot
background.
off his rocker. And so yeah, we see the crew get ate up on the ship. They crash, and now their plan is to send these kids down to go. I didn't know that the ship crashed into one of his buildings.
Yes, it did.
So
It
that
did.
kind of, and he's like, Utani's going to call us, and he's like, yeah, I don't care about that. He's like, they're on my property, so we're gonna go see what's happening with
We're
this.
gonna get that.
And we not till the second episode do we see that Hermit, Joe Hermit, Wendy's brother, who thinks his sister has died, obviously because she was terminally ill. And he also had a thing with baseball and his dad watching
Mhm.
highlights of the games. And we find out in the second episode that my boy tried to resign because he got into medical school, and they was like, "Nope,
Yeah,
you got to finish your contract."
7 months. He was gonna be up in 7 months. Like, nah. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Corporations.
yeah. So yeah, second episode, we see more of that. We actually see his whole like that he walks up and or was it is it the first episode where the ship crashes while they're standing
Yes,
there?
that all happened. So they go through the ship crashes. Everybody, the Prodigy security team force, they're almost like a military at this point. They go and
Search
inspect,
and rescue.
yeah,
Yeah.
do a search and rescue, and then that's when we get a little Xeno action. We get a little bit of Xenomorph action.
Little
Not as
Xeno
much as they
action.
get in the
Even
second
before
episode.
that, we get the space tick. We get a couple of the alien
That
species.
was uncomfortable. I was
And,
like,
yeah,
oh man.
they roll through the ship, and then I was wondering when Morrow was going to pop back up, and my boy pops back up, cuffs. I mean, why? Like he has no. Like I know he's supposed to be a mixture, like a cyborg, so he should just be a human with like cybernetic enhancements, but he really has no like life. He doesn't care about it. He's like, I'm
No.
gonna cuff you to that pipe. You gonna get cuffed to the pipe, and he's the reason basically that these little space ticks. We see something crawl up into the one of them's helmet,
Yeah, the black dude. I was like, oh
and it's kind of
no.
like, oh, he has to rap for them too because they're gonna be uh, space tick food. It's gonna be a wrap on that, and he just leaves them there, and of course they get bit.
Oh yeah, he said I didn't pick the black guy was hilarious for that. with the brother comment, come on, brother. He's like, I'm not your brother.
I'm not your brother.
But I'm like, oh, yeah, y'all gonna die. He don't care, y'all.
Yeah, he does not care. Leaves them down there in the base, and obviously it's a large building, so the rest of the search and rescue team end up trying to go further down into the ship and into the floors of the building because somehow the stairwell got broke, but the chasm that the stairwell is built around is kind of intact because it's obviously it's not. You can tell that's man-made. It's like too precise of a corridor leading up through the building, but part of the steps have collapsed, so they can't just walk down the stairs. There's an elevator that's somehow still partially working. Was it Siberia?
Oh, the one was part of the tactical team.
The leader of the tactical team, the black lady with the purple twists, but her name is somehow Siberia.
The way you say that, it bothers you. Why they call her Siberia? He's like, none of that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Siberian. DM Camille plays that character. Mm-hmm. And so, it's her and another squad member jumps down. Hermit's just about to follow them, the xenomorph. He feels that the xenoslob comes down the shaft, and he's like, ew, what's that? I don't know why he didn't shoot. Like, how long did you have to sit there and stare at that before you realized it was about to try and take your head off? Like, thing is hissing at you, it's slobbing. It doesn't look very nice. Like,
no, it doesn't.
I'd have let a couple rounds off top.
Probably obvious. Like, what the hell is that?
As soon as that face appeared, I'd have popped a couple. I don't know if it would have did anything. It might have just bounced off because he describes it when he escapes. He gets into the elevator and he's trying to, hey, this is Hermit. Something following me.
Creature,
8 foot tall, armored. Like, bro, you got all that in that quick assessment. You saw that head, that long ass head pop down. Yeah, I'd have domed it a couple of times. You right there.
We're gonna try to dome.
Hey, we're gonna ask questions later. We're not.
I mean, it's a giant alien. What else?
And they've gone through the ship already. At this point, they've gone through parts of the ship. Yeah. They've seen bodies. He's seen something come out of chest or something.
Chest. Yeah.
So that I'm thinking there's at least a few more xenomorphs waiting to mature on the ship.
That's gonna be a mess. Yeah.
What do you think is in that on the ceiling pods?
Are you talking about when? Are we talking about that moment where the two security dudes that end up dying? They go near one of those like sealed doors, and then like something jumps at it.
No, I'm kind of jumping ahead because we have the conversation with the Lost Boys and Wendy on their way, and oh boy is such a snitch.
Episode 2.
Yeah, we're episode 2 where she's like, it's a secret. My brother's down there, and the other Lost Boy says, and he's like, we're gonna find who? He's like, oh, her brother, he's down there. He's
like,
snitching.
Shut up, slightly, shut up.
Yeah, he snitches so quick. Like she's like, secret, like yeah. Then it's like, I think that's really to illustrate that we're dealing with kids mentally. Like, yeah, you said secret, but he asked me a question, I'm just gonna answer it. And then he snitches on her like really quick. Soon as they get to Hermit. Oh, we skipped the part though. The crazy 17th century party they were having.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the second episode. Oh, we don't get there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we're kind of there because
we are pretty much.
The security teams find them like, yo. He finally finds. We don't see where the Siberian was. After they get split up, we don't see them in episode 2. And then Joe finds one of the other squad mates. He's like, where is everybody? Calms her down. This is the last apartment to check. They knock on the door. Dude comes out in powdered wig, like he's in this.
I call him aristocrat.
Yeah, 16th century. He's doing his best freaking English Parliament from the 1700s imitation. And he's like, hey, we having a party. We rich. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the same club with the dude that owns your company. I'm in that club. And he's like, I don't know about no club, but there's a ship literally in the lobby of this building. Stairwell is broken through. The elevators are messed up. Comms are down. You need to leave now. And homie closes the door on him. This was a good moment. When Joe turns around, you realize that the xenomorph has been sitting there the whole
crazy.
dang time
Wait,
on the statue.
Just waiting, just blending in, just waiting. I was like, boy, he got him. The Xeno got him.
And my boy Joe said, move. I don't think he said it with enough urgency. He was trying to be clever. It's not time. You need to move now, get the hell out of Dodge. And the xenomorph comes down and does a little inner mouth, comes out the outer mouth into dude's head. He picks him up with it. That's horrible. He picks him up with it, slings him around.
Bullets flying. I think his name's Rashidi. I think that might be that guy's name, Rashid. Just pulling the trigger. Bullets are flying.
Yeah, flying.
And I'm
That's
like,
what makes the boy open it. Then the party man opens the door. Body gets thrown into the.
Herman gets him and the body and Herman go into the room. I'm like, this is crazy.
Xenomorph runs in there, wreaks havoc, starts chewing through people, and then he picks up the gun from Rashidi, and they're kind of stalking each other because he's trying to see what's up. And I think through some type of reflection he sees up above.
Yep.
That the xenomorph is about to jump down, and then all of a sudden he gets tased. Because he's good to rights pretty much. He gets thrown to the ground. He's about to get waxed. Morrow comes in, tases the xenomorph, and just as Joe says thank you, he tases.
He tased him too. I was like, yeah, I mean, he on a mission. Morrow's on a mission. Homie's on a mission.
But if you look at his eyes, his face is emotionally like he's not giving you nothing. He's stone faced as he does.
I wonder if this leads me to ask more questions about like like in this case, he's cyborg. So like I wonder if like he has some type of like implant that allows. He has an implant, that may inhibit his emotions, certain emotions, or like because he's clearly attached to like their mother, like their networks. These clearly can easily access like the Prodigy net or the Wayland or Yutani network.
Yeah,
I wonder if that affects his emotions, or he also could just be traumatized from fighting, clearly having battles with xenomorphs that we haven't seen prior to this TV show.
Or he could just be one of those weird people that are just emotionally.
He also could just be that.
Which I guess in his job that would be a good thing to have, to be able to just shut that off, and you can look. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because the specimens are the mission, and we're not letting. Not to mention the catastrophe of all that stuff escaping out the ship and just being able to multiply. Kirsch basically says this when they see the kind of eggs, but this is what I'm talking about. When they walk into the room on the ship and they got those two like plant things hanging.
Oh, upside down?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was weird too.
I was like, I wonder what the heck that's going to be. And then he sends two off to go into the other room and check stuff out. They find the eyeball thing in the cat.
That was terrifying. That was gross.
They're freaking out. We also seen the tick thing hop off of the second. There's like a big blob of blood. It just engorged himself off of them two. And he kind of slumps off. And as they're kind of searching for that thing is when they see the cat around the corner. Cat's like half of the body is gone. It starts shuffling forward. I'm like, ugh.
This ain't gonna go well. Then they show it busting out the eye.
Yeah.
And then like because that creature, because it has an eyeball as a head, I guess, and like busts out, but then it's trying to look like a cat eye, but then turns into a human eye, then multiplies like 8 other eyes. And I'm like, what's going on? Then it starts jumping out.
Yeah, I think it imitates the eye of its prey. That's the whole.
Ooh.
And so, it could be a human eye. It changes because I think it's targeting them. I was like, but how can they're synths. They're not human. They don't have blood or fluid in the same. So I'm surprised it tries to kind of mimic the eyeballs of the humans to try and get into one of them. Like the organic material is synthetic; it's not real.
Hey, that's for that just now. I just want to see what happens. Now you just gave me another idea.
Yeah. So yeah, that stuff happens. Then the curse sends. They find Joe, Wendy, and the companion she's with. They find Joe finally, and Curse like, I don't care about that, because he'd inject himself into the computer system and found all the info.
He know everything now.
Pulls up the video of the hatchery, basically, so the xenomorph hatchery with a bunch of the pods that we're familiar with the slices on top of the little egg holder thing. I was so mad with Joe putting his face up to the day. I'm like, if you don't get your face out of that for a face hugger, jump out of there.
He don't know.
Slap that alien mess in your mouth, and then next thing you know, you got a chest buster coming out. He was playing too much. I was like,
yeah,
bro.
He was. For somebody who's a medic, he was kind of a little goofy.
Yeah.
He wasn't on it. But I don't know, his character, when I kind of like look at him, he's kind of feels more like an everyday person in a way. Like he's kind of like a regular guy. Like he's not doing things by the book per se, but he's just trying to get by. He's just trying to get by. But yeah, I think he needs to stay away from those the cocoons, the xenomorph eggs.
So I'm thinking he didn't see, because he's rocking with search and rescue. Had to have seen some gruesome stuff.
That is also true. So he maybe shouldn't just be this goofy.
Yeah. So I guess if this is the prequel, then the xenomorphs aren't yet known to us yet.
Exactly.
So that's the only grace I can kind of give him. Like, okay, no one's really experienced coming in to encounter this before here. That hasn't happened yet for a couple years. Yeah, Alex Lothar is the one who plays Hermit. I've seen him in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was suspenseful. They sprinkled in enough action in between to keep the pacing going well. I like the suspense of it. I like the action when it happens. Because when they get down, they get down. I like how Wendy called dudes. It's like, yeah, there's a claw. Those scratch marks. He's like, from a cat. He's like, no, from a bear. He's like, there's bears.
Yeah.
Then they find the room with all the bodies and like the blood strewn. And he's like, yep, there's a bear. I'm like, that's.
It was a bear.
It's gruesome, but that is kind of a kid thing to say. Like, yep, that's a bear. Like, no, homie, bears. Bears don't do this.
This is too sad. It's too savage out here. The xenomorph don't care. And I think also like one of my favorite parts was actually when Morrow tries to captures the alien the first.
The spray set.
Yeah, sprays it down and then start dragging it away. I'm like, this is wild. And then unfortunately,
security team catches up.
Security stopped him. I was like, my man's just trying to do his job, and y'all about
to leave. He's like, what's in there? He's like, supplies. He said supplies, and it starts moving. Hands up, hands in the air. Then they see the left hand, like, oh, he's a cyborg. They're just trying to cuff him, and he just stands there. He doesn't seem afraid though. Like as they're getting eviscerated behind him, he's kind of shrugging. I'm wondering if he's thinking he's not a target, but obviously the xenomorph is going after him.
It does.
Yeah, but it didn't end though. With his back turned to it, maybe
it was hungry. Maybe its hunger was satiated.
Oh, maybe.
Like I've killed enough people. I got 10 people. I killed 10 people today. I'm gonna go walk off and rest. I can't kill all y'all.
Yeah.
I'll let him go. Plot armor. We'll let Morrow go for that.
Yeah, we'll let Morrow go. So he's back on the loose. The xenomorph is on the loose, and Joe and Wendy are on their way down. And he's now, because he does. Oh yeah, old boy snitched on her and told that's your sister. That's Marcy, and he's like, what? So now that's slowing him down because old boy's asking her questions about stuff from childhood. He's like, okay, Christmas, you were 7 years old. What did you say? and she has to remember the phrase of what she said. And I'm like, well, what is? But I guess her consciousness combined with the brain of actually, because boy,
Boy
Boy
Cavalier.
Cavalier mentions that she's got a supercomputer.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
So she probably has perfect recall, everything in the database. So if she remember, because for most people, I think that would be kind of a weird thing to ask somebody. You're gonna tell me something you said, even though for her it was only, and it was, if she's 12 now, that was okay. It's 5 years ago, but still, like, what did you say to me at this morning at this time when you woke me up before the sun rose when you were 7? A lot of people might be like, I don't know what I said.
I don't remember. It'll come back to you later. It's one of those situations.
But she has the answers. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when they do get chased, though. The Xenomorph does show up, right?
In the second episode, they got, I mean, I think they only got technically the chase only happened with, the Xeno was messing everybody up.
Yeah.
But I think after they kind of they come upon the aftermath, but it's more like the rest of the Lost Boys collecting the specimens, and then we find out.
But I'm saying Wendy doesn't run into it yet.
No, yeah, okay. Wendy still has not seen the Xenomorph, which should be interesting.
Yeah, because she's the only one that seems more mentally equipped, even though they're only like a year apart. Because her and the Indian dude that she's with, he says I'm 11 and she's 12 because he lets Joe know that they're, what do you mean we're still children? And he basically breaks it down. I'm 11, she's 12, and all the other kids are various ages. So it's not like, even though she's only technically and mentally 1 year older than him, she seems a lot more mature than he is, even though she has her kid moments too. But she's the only one that's got a sword that's like magnetically attached to her back. She didn't have to sheath it. It just sits right there. So I'm waiting to see her get down with this sword when the Xenos start battling. That should be interesting, especially given people that are fans of the series that know that their blood is acidic. And so that could
be. I almost kept forgetting that. I was like, because I always felt like, I don't know why, but I guess the Xenomorph spit thing, I kept feeling like that was an extension of acid. I mean, it was acidic, but I guess it's not. I guess it's just their blood. I was like, okay.
It's just their blood.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of that episode, Herman gets tackled by the alien, and then this felt like this felt like very much like a comic book where like the alien tackles him, and then now she has to go and save her brother and then leave slightly there. I was like, this is really funny.
Oh yeah, so that is so technically that is the encounter.
Yeah, so she does the encounter. She's ready to. The way she jumped out that hole, she was like, I'm ready to fight. I can't wait for the next episode.
Oh, that's Shmi that's with her?
Slightly.
Okay. Oh, slightly. Yeah, slightly. That's a weird name. I keep forgetting that that's his name. I keep thinking she's telling him to move slightly, it's confusing to have that to be his name. But slightly, slightly is there. He's like, you stay here and guard whatever this is. I gotta go. And Kirsch ain't gonna be happy about that because Kirsch don't care about her brother. He told her.
What does he care about?
But he told her flat out when she's like, "We found him." She was all happy, and he's like, "I don't care about none of that." He says it flat out. I don't care. You need to go down here. I need you here, right here in this spot where these things we can secure. It's an invasive species. It could kill and multiply and get out of here. That's going to be horrible. We need to lock this down. And of course, she has her own priority. She had her own priority. That's her whole reason to go to. She's making it seem like, we're going to go save. He's down there saving people, so I got to save him. He can be hurt. He can burn. He can be broke. It's like, this is going to end. This ain't going to end well. And I'm hoping some of the other Lost Boys and Lost Girls step up. I know there's going to be some casualties, and Prodigy's going to be highly upset. He knows it's a risk to how much money they put into each of those bodies as well. He's like, right. He even mentions that, like, if we lose one, he's like, well, don't lose one.
He's like,
Basically,
"I'll
got a
lose
thousand.
one."
This is
Like,
a risky thing. You're sending these synth hybrids that you done spent probably billions on to go with a search and rescue team already on hand on planet, and you don't know what you're dealing with, and now you find out it's an invasive alien, or a bunch of alien species, but one in particular that's invasive. Um, I'm wondering what type of hybrids of the aliens we're gonna get.
oh yeah, they do have to explore that, and they do show something in the trailer, like some non-black, some non-black xenomorph with like a different skin tone, like
Like
kind of
gray or
grayish.
something.
Yeah, that was when I
Yeah,
saw grayish. What's that about?
yeah.
So we gonna see something. I do. I think what I'm a lot. I was thinking again about Timothy Oakland's character, like being able to hack into things, because we do have to remember that. Like, I'm like, all right. So Wayland and Yutani own that ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how, like, I mean, I guess he is an android, so he can't just hack into it and
Yeah.
get data. So, but he has proprietary data to the corporation now, so he knows somebody. He has more intel than he bring the boy Cavalier. So I'm like, this is interesting. And then we also get introduced to the CEO of Utani, and that was really cool to see. I like this. I'm like, all right, let's see how these corporations going to go to war over these aliens, ultimately technology at this point for weapons, because it's how they most likely did use
It's
them.
just aliens. That's what she's claiming is proprietary. Like anything you find on that ship, you know it's proprietary. And he's like, yeah, but it's in my building, so technically you're in my jurisdiction. Uh, that's what lawyers are for. You get your lawyers, I'll get my lawyers, and basically
Crazy.
we'll settle this on the battlefield in the court of law. But I can't give you clearance to go down and get nothing yet because you're in my stuff. So there you go. And he hangs up on her.
Yeah, that's hilarious. He's like, get on out of here. But yeah, I
But
want to
yeah,
see
it was
more of
kind
the
of
way
weird. He was sitting there on his back with the
was he
iPad or
holding
whatever in his feet.
feet? Holding up with
It's
his
so
feet. Like, what are
disrespectful.
you doing?
He's wilding out, but he's supposed to be the eccentric young, hyper rich, super intelligent, and obviously not self aware because he's like I say he's out of touch with
Probably
reality.
a narcissist.
Yeah, but
Most
he's
likely a
obviously out of touch with
narcissist.
reality in certain aspects. Um, so far, my standouts though are Wendy, Morrow, obviously, uh, and Kirsch. I like Kirsch because he's kind of no nonsense too.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for these other kids to wake up though, to see when they're gonna stop being afraid because they're not as vulnerable as everybody else, but they're still acting like at least a few of them are still acting as if they can be harmed or they don't. We don't
Yeah.
know.
Or they don't understand. I don't know if they understand their power yet. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I ain't seen them jump off a cliff.
no, no. In a way, it was funny when she got attacked by the eyeball tentacles. It was in my head. I'm like, you could probably rip that thing in half.
Yeah,
But she does. I don't think she knows how strong she is, because I'm like, that's not. I'm like, that ain't gonna do nothing. I'm like, she gotta be able, but she don't know her power yet. If that was Wendy, this might be a different story.
the fact that she caught it off her, like her reflex were fast
Oh
enough
yeah,
to just
that's true.
snatch it
That's
out of
true.
midair. My thing though is where is this thing going to get purchased? And if it's not true organic material that it's dealing with, it can't really have a symbiotic like relationship with a full on of a synthetic being.
Mhm. That is a fair question. I think that's a great question to ask. We got to see how the story, how the other episodes would reconcile that. Because that is a good point. If it only exclusively combined with organic matter versus synthetics. So,
That was part of the reason I was thinking maybe why the xenomorph was kind of giving Morrow a pass at that point. Like maybe it looked at him and seen like, okay, I want to attack you, but maybe there's not enough organic material for me to really deal with you. So I'm just go through and smack up all these other ones. I don't know, but he does kind of walk off because he clears the room aside from Morrow and leaves him there. I guess they didn't finish handcuffing him, or maybe he just broke out of the cuffs real fast because he got that whatever that
He should
hand
be
is.
able to. That cybernetic prosthetic hand. He should be able to break out in.
Yeah. So the xenomorph walks off. We close on like a cliffhanger, literally, because Wendy jumps off the cliff into the abyss to follow Joe, and it looks like, seemed like Joe's about to be used as cushion for the xenomorph fall, which ain't gonna end well for Joe. But maybe she's gonna somehow catch them in midair. I don't know what they're gonna do. But first impressions.
I mean, I'm if we're gonna rate these episodes, I mean, it's just.
I'm just saying first impression because
all right, let me not go that far. I got too excited. I was like, they were all tens. I'm like, they were all tens.
Yeah.
They were just really like all solid episodes. They captured the world very well. One thing that we kind of didn't really get to is like cinematography. So like for me, it was really cool when Wendy would kind of revisit memories, and like they would basically fade in like another moment or memory, or like they would do that and it would be like lower opacity, and it was just looked really nice. It was just real soft. It wasn't too abrasive, and then the memory will go away and fade back. So like moments like that were really nice. The action, the suspense was great. I'm generally worried about all these aliens running around because they all have, so far the ones we've seen do damage. They are a little terrifying. Like the small ones are what gets on my nerves. They remind me of bugs. But so that the aliens have been really cool. The characters have been great. The use of hybrid human androids. These are all the things I love and enjoy. This is like you want some ass whooping and some good stories and science fiction. They're hitting all the cyberpunk things I like. So I'm like, this is solid. So I'm excited for the next episode. Oh, and the intro sequence is just fire in itself. Just like how the text comes in, and then how they kind of like it seems like the second episode was like a recap in the intro sequence. So just showing images of what was happening. It just looked nice. It just looked good.
There are lots of cool callbacks and parallels to the original Alien film. Almost shot for shot in some instances from things that happened on the ship as the crew of the initial research vessel are introduced. The shots of the mother room, and then you see Morrow in the mother room and the blinking lights all over the beige walls.
Yeah.
A lot of things were kind of one-to-one, almost transferences from the film into this new show. The sense seemed kind of, makes me look at the sense in the films that we've already seen seem kind of weak. When you see her jump down from that high-ass cliff, and then I just have the is it Alien or Aliens where the one synth gets like ripped in half and his body is just the white milk is just pouring out of it.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Like, I'm waiting to see how they do, when it comes to getting down with the xenomorphs, because obviously the regular humans are getting washed every time. It's like not even weaponry, no weaponry. They're getting mashed up. And the fact that the way they're posing this as a prequel, there seems to be no record of the xenomorph. So I'm assuming they must have nipped this in the bud.
Oh, and see, that's what I was going to ask too. Like, because I need to rewatch Alien because, like, obviously, like Ripley's character, that would be her first time meeting a xenomorph, but she's also meeting a xenomorph in another galaxy. So we also remember there's a distance part there. There's communications. So like those things can happen in this timeline. That part makes sense. But it's like now I like want to go back to the Alien series and be like, okay, as each film progresses, how is everyone dealing with the xenomorph problem? Because generally it feels like every time I watch a movie, everyone's dumb and doesn't have the tools to fight the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Unless Ricky's there.
Yeah, I'm thinking somehow Weyland-Yutani must have either nipped this in the bud and got it up out of there before anybody was able to discover anything, and then Prodigy or the remainders of Prodigy either gets wiped out or they just kept it quiet maybe they got paid a crazy sum of money, or
NDAs, non-disclosures.
or we look, we gonna need some of that to study for our own uses. You let us do that, we won't say nothing. It'll be just between us, but we need to look at this data and information, and we'll keep it quiet. Won't even say nothing that that thing to run roughshod, because it looks bad on us. Now, Prodigy owns the building, and people may try and sue because you let some creature loose in our building. We can fight about this, and we can say it's actually Waylon Yutani's fault and not Prodigy, but the people that lost their lives and the families ain't gonna care about. They're just gonna want somebody to pay. So maybe something like that happens. I don't know. But this kind of has to get wrapped up within this series so it doesn't bleed into, otherwise it doesn't make any sense that they don't know what these things are, and it's not like on record. Like,
yeah, I'm confident that this shouldn't be hard to nip that in the bud and wrap it up. Hopefully they don't drop the ball, but I'm confident there's a way to, like, literally the way you described it. It's like this is the simplest, easiest way to write the story, where everything still feels like the knowledge of the xenomorph is still very disconnected or compartmentalized. It's not well known. It's not like zombies. Yeah. Everybody knows we dealing with zombies, headshots.
Yeah. And I like how what's her name? The Siberian, when Joe Herman is trying to look at and see what happened. And he's looking at the bodies and like, no, something happened. Maybe they decompressed the air and it was decompression and it killed everybody in a vacuum. And she's like, yo, let forensics come down here and Agatha Christie this shit. We don't need to find out what happened. Let's clear the room and keep it moving. We got to keep going further down. Like, she doesn't want to stick around. These bodies obviously can't be rescued. We'll have forensics come down and see the cause of death and all that. Research vessel though, so that's got to be crazy. But I do like it. I like the action in this. When it happens, they get gruesome, which is not surprising because of the franchise, but kind of surprising given who's owning this now. But I'm glad they're letting the blood fly and letting them get their hack and slash on. The suspense is well done. I haven't really had any jump scares in the first 2 episodes. I'm keep waiting for them to telegraph something or something happen, but it doesn't. They're really kind of holding back, but still, there's still enough tension, I think, in this show that I enjoy. And so I'm excited to see what happens next, and hopefully we don't run into anything too stupid as far as potholes. I mean, it's all crazy, but it's been good so far. Waiting to see the reaction of these kids and adult bodies running around with super strength and super speed, but only one of them seems to know that they have it. I'm surprised because they said Wendy was trained.
Oh yeah, I mean, she had a little more time on them.
Yeah, I know, but he specifically said trained. That like she's been given other skills. She's been trained in some. And like I said, she's the only one running around with a sword on her back. So I don't know where. Funny, we're in the future technology, and she's still running around with melee weapon.
And she grabbed a paper cutter. That was kind of funny. I was thinking about that. I saw her rip off the thing off a paper cutter. I was like, that's your sword. All right, that works.
Yeah.
That can work, I guess. That's what she's gonna roll with. She's gonna have a little samurai sword. And we're gonna be like, that's cool, because it is.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm enjoying it so far. How many episodes do you think we get out of this?
All right. 8. I looked it up. I was like, phew, good. Like,
are they releasing 2 episodes, or just gonna be 1?
That I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out because Disney. Well, Disney Plus, they release episodes in weird batches now. But with Hulu, they're all owned by Disney, so I really don't know. But I think we're getting 1 episode next week.
Okay. Well, man.
We're getting episode 3. Episode 3 comes out tomorrow. So it's just they did a 2-episode premiere, and then it's going to be one each week, man.
Okay.
Called Metamorphosis.
Okay. Well, it should be a fun ride. I enjoyed the first 2. Hopefully, the rest of them we continue on the same path that we're going now. Either it goes up as long as it don't go down. Man. So I don't anticipate it doing that, but you never know with these new shows. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to chop it up with me about these things. And we have one lurker. I see the eyeball icon up in the top left corner, but I don't know if we can get nobody chatted to us, but I thank you, whoever you are, for taking the time out of your day to listen to us chop it up about these sci-fi and fantasy shows. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we will be leaving links in the description of the episode when I put this up on Spotify to both my website, Jordan's website. And, she wasn't with us today. I also have Jocelyn Short's website up there as well. So if you're interested in our creative endeavors, you like art, you like comics, you like sci-fi and fantasy novels, check us out. We will talk to you all next